No is a complete sentence. I don't need to add nothing with it, add nothing to it. No. Bottom line, say what you want. And then if it gets to a point where what the person wants is something different than what you want, you guys can talk it out and then just say, yo, what's a compromise?
Today's show is brought to you by Organifi. Organifi is an organic superfood supplement line that makes quality, trusted nutrition convenient and accessible. Their most popular product, the green juice, solves the problem of juicing greens on the go. We all know that we need to get those fruits and greens and vegetables and all that in our diets, guys, and here's a quick and easy way to get it. You just add water, drink, and let your body soak up the benefits. Visit Organifi.com to learn more about an exciting offer for you, our podcast listeners. That's Organifi, Organifi.com. Today's show is brought to you by HelloFresh. HelloFresh is a meal kit delivery service that shops, plans, and delivers step-by-step recipes and pre-measured ingredients so you can cook, eat, and enjoy. They offer a wide variety of chef-curated recipes that change every week. Sign up today. Get $80 off your first month by going to HelloFresh.com/success80 and use the promo code success80, and that's success and the number 8080.
I wake up every single day. I am who I say I am. And I get what I get because I live in beast mode. Stop being gazelles. You're not average. You're not even good. You were born to be great.
What's going on, world? Welcome to another edition of the Secret to Success podcast. I'm your host, CJ, joined as always by the Bayesian sensation, Mr. Carl Wesley Phillips.
What's happening, y'all? What it do?
We got Dr. Douglas Thomas, maybe the only member of this podcast who's functioning at this hour. So hopefully he can carry us to the finish line.
Promised land.
Hey, no, listen. I am officially washed just as like a functioning member of society. You know what I'm saying? So let me tell you, congratulations, how I played myself. So we've been working the past, 4 or 5 days, I don't know, just nonstop. We've been on the go. It's a long, shout out to Chicago. What an amazing weekend, but it was a long hookup. So I got home yesterday, whole fam, of course, travel with the kids, that'll wear you out. So I get home, I'm tired, I'm like, shoot, I'm gonna try to take a little nap because I wanna watch the game tonight. So lay down, try to take a nap. Of course, the kids going crazy, couldn't take a nap. Then we got the call, I'm like, all right, cool, bump it. I'm still gonna stay up because, obviously put the kids down, whatever. I'm like, I'm gonna stay up, I wanna watch the game. We got the Nuggets was on. Hey man, I'm gonna watch this game. So not only did I stay up way too late trying to watch the game, I fell asleep. I made it to the top of the third quarter. So I'm going to bed late. Now we waking up doing the podcast and I'm tired. So I'm tired and missed the game. So that's how trash I am. Is not only, at least if I'd have got the reward of seeing the game, I'd have been like, okay, this was worth it. But I fell asleep in the third and now I'm tired. Okay, yeah, just, you know what I mean? I'm just old, dog. I don't know if y'all got a chance to stay up or even tried to stay up, but I'm telling you, the older I get, the more impossible it becomes.
Hey, it worked out for me. I tried to stay up, and somehow I was sleeping probably in the second quarter somewhere. I fell asleep, but it worked out, though, because I fell asleep downstairs, and Tamisha texted me probably like 10 minutes before the end of the game. It's probably about like 4-something minutes in, 4 minutes left, like 10 real life minutes. It was like 4 minutes left in the game, and she hit me like, yo, you not coming to bed? And I was like, for sure.
Oh, no, I'm watching the game.
To the end of the game. Yeah, I'm watching the game, no doubt. So I ended up falling back asleep and getting up and going upstairs after the game, bro. Trash, washed up.
Oh, washed, bro. But I will say this. I'm staying up some kind of way for this Rockets Warriors series because I have a feeling that series is about to be epic, okay? Yeah. Shout out to CP, but game one was a little crazy, and it looked like it might get a little chippy, and I'm here for it. So I'm going to definitely, some kind of way today, I'm just going to have to take me a 6-hour nap at some point. I'm not sure when I'm going to have that time, but I will be staying up for that game. I mean, you're just old in general. Am I tripping, or when you get old, do you get hurt just doing regular stuff? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, bruh.
Like, bruh, I was at mall crib and reached for the toothpaste and popped a muscle in my rib. Like, what in the devil? I promise you. Some kind of way, man, getting old is trash. So, I don't know if you know what I'm saying, experienced any of these.
Let me tell you something. Man, I thought I was the only one. I promise you I did. Me and TJ, we had the marriage meeting, and TJ was doing this thing. Him and V had, facilitated it. And he had made a very strong point for the men, and I was just like, pumped up about it. Like, yeah, speak up for us. Go. And so we just randomly just started bumping chests like it was like we scored a touchdown, And bruh, I just did 2 random, chest, bah, you know what I'm saying? And landed on my big toe some kind of way and couldn't walk for about a week or 2. And I was just like, yo, what happened? I just decided after a week, I was like, yo, I'm just gonna start running again, because if I go 2 weeks without it, I'm just not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So I was just running with my, turf toe, but I was just like tripping on it. Then I had another incident where I got out the car, but I thought somebody was about to hit they was about to hit the door. So I opened the door and I like turned just quick. You know what I'm saying? And then my side, I was just like, yo, E. And look, I'm not playing. Like, I thought I was the only one. Look, I'm not playing. I wake up every morning and I keep telling myself, okay, E, whatever you do, don't make random, spontaneous moves. Like, think
Everything got to be calculated.
Every move you calculate all the way through.
Bro, I'm not playing, because it seems like every time I just like do something random and I'm not thinking, it's okay, like I'm 20 again. That's when I get hurt. Like for real, I could be like my next door neighbor, little kid. He could come running and then me and him do some Spider-Man stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then the next day I wake up and my back is hurting. I'm like, what happened? I was like, yo, the Spider-Man boy thing got me. So yeah, bro. Yeah, it's crazy.
You throw that spider web. It's too heavy.
I'm talking about my body. I'm like, what in the world? I reach for a coffee cup and tear a hamstring. You like, what? This don't even make sense. So
I just be feeling bad because Mason got so much energy. Mason be wanting to do stuff. And I'm like, yo, E, you got to be a good neighbor, bro. Like, you can't be like that old neighbor that can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Every time a man come out.
Me and Carl, we had kids late. That was the problem.
Late.
So I got a 5-year-old who ready to get to it. And I'm like, son, about that. I got about one more of these. I'm going to take you on my back and run through the crib as an airplane. And I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I felt like if I'd had a kid when I was 24, 25, I would have been better equipped to, you know what I mean?
Question.
Take care of this energy. Let me tell you something. I can't wait for Jalen to come over. Jalen come over. They love Uncle Jalen. They like, he got energy for days.
Hey,
like,
that used to be Rondell for me. Rondell disappeared now. He got him a little girlfriend. But he used to be the one that had Jordan ripping through the house.
Rondell got a whole fiance. What you talking about, girlfriend?
My bad.
These young boys going to the next level. I got a fair file for y'all, man. I forgot. You know what? I actually happened a couple weeks ago, and I was like, man, is this fair or foul? So I was at the gym, right? And there was a sign in the locker room, the men's locker room, and it had a picture of I don't know, some type of keepsake, right? Like, I don't know if it was like a necklace or like I don't know, like some type of, it looked like a family crest heirloom type of deal, right? And so it said, the sign said, hey, I lost this the other day. It was a gift from my grandfather. You know, could you please call this number if you find it? So I walked in the locker room and I see this guy and he like looking all around for it. And I'm like, you could tell he like, he just saw the sign too. So he like looking, up, down, all around, whatever. And I said, oh, that was your stuff you lost, man? We're, trying to help out. Like, did you lose it here or you lose it out there, whatever? My man was like, no, I'm just looking for the reward money. I was like, oh, okay. I went back and read the sign. I was like, oh, it didn't say nothing about a reward money. And so I went back, just looked at the sign a little bit. I said, hey, bro, it don't say nothing about a reward. And he was like, oh, no, I know, but if I find it, for sure, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
It's too valuable not to have a reward.
So I was like, I ain't saying nothing else, but I'm saying, is it fair or foul if my man find it and he like, yo, I'm not coming up off of this? I'm just trying to figure out, because he was looking so adamantly. I'm like, oh, okay, like, do you know that? He like, nah, I'm about to get it because I need the reward money. And I'm saying, bruh, he ain't saying, like, this is like a Good Samaritan type deal here. He ain't saying nothing about 5,000 if found. So is he fair or foul if he find it to demand the reward money?
Yeah, no, that's foul.
Yeah. If it ain't no reward for it, you can't make one.
Bro,
up,
you making up something. You making up something, bro. They just wanted you to do this out the kindness of your heart.
Well, I mean, but at the same time, now he got him working. So I kind of felt him because he was going above and beyond. You know me, I just was walking to the sauna, and if I so happened to bump into it on the way, I was going to pick it up, call my man. You feel me? I wasn't about to check lockers. My man was actually putting in work. So on one side, I felt y'all, because I was like, come on, bro. Just be a good person. If you see it, call my man. You know what I mean? Like, this is a family heirloom. Just call him, dog, just out of the goodness of your heart. And then on the other hand, I said, okay, now you actually look like you about to spend some time in this joint working. And so that may be deserving of an additional compensation for you actually putting in work.
I don't know. It depends, you know. But he's volunteering. See that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you volunteering, bro. Nobody told you to take it that deep.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true, Carl.
Yeah, no, my man is all. Yeah, he gone. He gone. No, you can't do that, man. It's especially if it's something that valuable or somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking.
Now I'm going to ask for a reward though. Yeah, I don't mind suggesting it though. If I find it, I don't mind suggesting it though. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind suggesting it, but I'm saying don't make it like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't make it like you ain't gonna give it back to me if I don't. But I will be
if
like,
I don't,
yo,
right?
see,
Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah, I'll just be like, yo, see, I found this thing. I know it was valuable to you, bro. Man, bro, I could show you. You know what I'm saying? I'm on hard times right now. I can show you extra.
And then you gotta like low key let them know that you was looking for a long time.
Yeah. Right.
And then, you know what I mean? You hoping they volunteer. You like, man, I ain't gonna hold you up, bro. I spent a few hours extra in this joint. You know, I felt so bad that I just, you know, took the rest of the afternoon off my job. You know what I'm saying?
To look for you. And I took time in that. Yeah, I took some of my furlough. You know what I'm saying?
My furlough vacation to find your family heirloom.
To find your family heirloom. Yeah, but I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't stress my man out. If he didn't catch the hint, it'd just be like, yo, I feel good, and hopefully karma will pay me back.
Yeah, come back. I just thought it was funny. My man was like, I'm doing it. He's like, I'm trying to get that reward money, bro. I said, wait a minute. I didn't, you know what I mean? I just thought, I said, bro, that's foul, bro. You only doing it because you look, whatever. But what was I gonna say? Oh, all right, Chicago, man. Let's recap real quick, man. We definitely can't blow by that. Shout out to everybody who came out to Chicago, man. 1,000 people. It was insane, man. So definitely sold out, bottom to the top. Man, and the good people of Chicago, man, showed mad love. Hey, let me tell you something. Me and Carl kind of popping in these streets now. I don't know if Eve, you beat,
it's on, y'all.
Man, the podcast listenership is increasing tenfold. When you ask who in here rocking with the podcast, it's about 85% of the audience now.
Yeah.
So, no question.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Me and Carl getting a little love in these streets.
Which made it good and bad. See, I ain't gonna lie, I had to kind of think about it when I was on stage. Like, man, I can't say that because they listened to the podcast and they heard that 20 times. Shoot, let me say it another way.
No.
They make it a little different now.
Nope, they ain't never heard it live. You know what I'm saying? It's like you still want to see Beyonce do, you know what I'm saying, her thing live. You still want to see it, you know, if you heard it on the album, you still want to see her perform it. So don't worry, they're not tripping, Carl. They want to hear the Beige and Sensation live and in person. It hit them a little different when you say it live.
You feel me?
Got it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
It never
no,
stopped me
it was-
from repeating it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Never stopped me from repeating nothing.
You don't repeat nothing anyway. But for those of us
Right.
regular folks who, you know what I mean, we got a little, you know what I'm saying, a couple little joints we do. You know, ice, ice, baby, vanilla ice, one hit wonders. You know, we got to keep doing our routine. You know, each city. So, no, man. Shout out to everybody in Chicago who came out, man. Friday, over 1,000 people. Second day mastermind. It was, man. I promise y'all, if you come out to this event, man, you just feel the energy. You feel the love in the city, man. And, you know, we've been putting on these events by ourselves with the help of volunteers and family and friends. And it's always just a great time. It's like, yo, we got our wives working, there's mamas working, brothers, sisters, you know, it's just a family affair, man. And the other day, man, it was just a joy to watch. You know what I mean? Shout out to Tiffany for holding it down. Maul came through with another phenomenal keynote in his hometown, so that was an emotional. Maul almost had everybody in there crying.
Man,
At the end of his keynote, he had a moment and broke down, and the whole audience broke down with him. But just, man, a phenomenal job. Carl got up there again. I mean, Carl is a regular now. Like, Carl, I'm like, okay, I'm getting used to seeing Carl in this keynote light. But yeah, no, that was my take from it. Shout out to everybody, man. Thank you for coming out to the 1% event. Carl, what was your thoughts?
Hey, it felt it's I don't know how to explain it, but it felt like home court for real, for real. I mean, obviously Maul's from Chicago, originally from Chicago, but it was so many people there that I knew. Like I'm talking about not like on some like I listened to the podcast. Like I knew BU members, you know, people that I've kicked it with, email back and forth. So I'm walking in there probably knowing 60% of the room, like knowing them. Like it wasn't like, you know, meeting you for the first time. So it just felt like home court, man. Like I just felt mad comfortable. Like the room was nice. Yeah, I just felt super comfortable, man. But walking away from there, man, like it's just weird. Like and we talk about, you know, environment exposure all the time. Like, man, every time we do an event like this, it's weird. We're putting the event on, but I walk away fired up more. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, I think the amount of people that walked up to us and said something. I don't know if you know, they left me out there, bro. Like, lunch was done, the VIP session was started, and there was still people outside talking to me. And it was like a feeling of like, man, and people not on some talk, and people like, yo, like there's some stuff that y'all saying that people are sharing with me how their life has changed. Not on some like, I like y'all, I rock with y'all. No. Like I did this and I did that, like the thing that y'all said, and now my business is this, my family is this. And I'm just like, man, the impact is real. So it's almost like it's an energizer pack for me now. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we got to keep this thing going another 20 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can't play no more. Like, time to take it to the next level. So it got me fired up, man.
Yeah, no question.
I think what I'm most proud of, man, is, you know, you're not talking about, you know, an entirely new group of people. You're talking about, you know, some of the people have been, you know, coming to multiple events, and a lot of people walked away. You know, they was like, yo, Tiff, man, it's like that confidence that she had. You know, they were like, just that, you know, it's like she wasn't second guessing herself. You know, it's like a weird, you know, like in my face. And this was men that were like, yo, you know, like as a man, hearing her speak and the confidence that she allude and the strength, you know, of her. I think one guy told me, he was like, yo, what she said that really hit home was, you know, do what God told you to do last. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, I was kind of stuck. But she was like, you're not stuck. What was the last thing that you was told to do? Do that. Like, work that through. And so people were giving me like realistic tips that they were taking away. And some people had been there before and was like, yo, every time I come to a conference, I'm getting more. Like, I thought that you guys were going to talk about what you talked about last year with the, you know, stay ready, or the, you know, ignite the dream, or, you know, whatever. It's like greatness is upon you. It was like, yo, every conference is like new content. It's life changing. So it just feels good to be a part of it and to be able to sit back and listen to and learn. And then day two, it was a lot of people that was like, yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've seen the disc before. I ain't never seen it like that before. Like I've never seen it done like that before. And I've had people hit me up, companies since then. Yo, I got 8 people on my staff. Like, they need to do that. Then I need you to sit down with me, and I need to put the right people in the right places. So It's just like day one is fire, and then sometimes you come to day two, it's like, oh man, they just did a second day to make more money. No, they was like day two was totally different than day one. And I took this out of day two right back to my family or right back to my business. So it's always good, man, to see, like Carl was saying, that real change is happening in people's lives.
Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to Josh and I was telling him I think this is probably my personal favorite tour that we've ever done. And, it's like, oh, okay, see, you say that because it's the one you on now. But the reality of the situation is, instead of the 1% tour, we could have called it the Self-Assess tour. And I think It is, as much as we've talked about this over the years, guys, this is the one that, it allows each individual who comes to discover their strengths and their superpowers, right? And so I think that's huge for me, because I said it in the VIP session the other day, people, because we're in the personal development space, and those of you listening to this podcast, people always ask me, do you think everyone can be successful, right? And when I say yes, they think I'm like trying to be like a motivational speaker, and I'm like, I'm not. Like, I do think everyone can be successful. Now, don't get that confused with everyone will be successful. Those two things don't have anything to do with each other. But I do think you can be if you self-assess, and what this tour, what this information that we're given at this 1% allows you to do. It allows you to really sit back and discover exactly what your strengths are, and just as importantly, discover what your weaknesses are, right? So you're not just a one-man band or a one-woman band trying to do everything and then wondering why you're not getting the results. This is allowing people to focus on exactly what their strengths are, maximize those, and then discover exactly what your weaknesses are, and discover who you need to attract into your life in order to take you to that next level. Because again, as you look at our team, like, there are just roles that we play for each other that could not be done without each other. Like, this podcast will have a hard time being sweet without Carl. And let me say this, I love Carl from a content perspective. E and I have to be texted a reminder of the call-in number. I think I might have said this before. Shout out to Carl. I love Carl. He knows what we need, because I'm a pilot, as E call it, and E is a stewardess. Carl texts us when we say, all right, we're doing the podcast today in the morning. All right, cool. Carl will text us at 5 a.m. every single time. The call-in number and the access code. Every single time. And I promise you, I need it every single time. Mind you, we've been doing the podcast for 3 years.
Yeah, somebody asked me, did I save the number, Carl? I was like, nope. Yeah, I was like, nope, I never save it. You know what I'm saying?
I never.
You just didn't save it?
Literally,
I
never
thought to
saved
do
it in
that.
my phone one day in my life, because that's not my skill set.
I never thought to do it.
Right?
Yeah.
And Carl knows that. So Carl sends it to us at the top. Now, Carl could be pissed and go, but he knows what our skill set is. We know what Carl's is. So Carl has handicapped us, because we know we ain't got to save it, because we know Carl gonna send it. But there are things that we do for one another because we understand our strengths and weaknesses. And that's just a small, example of, kind of how this company works. But one of the things that allow us to get to that next level is all of us are very aware of our strengths and weaknesses. There are things that we, like, I love it. There are things that E will do that even back in the day, before I was aware of kind of the test and, what our strengths and weaknesses are, I might be like, E, come on, man. Like, it might make me mad. I promise you I don't get mad, because I know exactly what E's thinking. I know why he's thinking it. I know what his strengths are, and I know how to cover his back in the event that he makes the decision that I knew he was going to make, or he does something I knew he was going to do. I'm not tripping. I just know what it is. And so what this conference is allowing people to do, what these sessions are allowing people to do, is really discover who they are innately and appreciate that, right? Like, I do a session for the pilots. Josh came out and helped me with that session. E does one, and I guess should we tell them how we switched up to? I guess we probably should, because I'm saying pilot now instead of gorilla.
Yeah.
And E, I'll let you talk about it. But either way, gorilla, whatever, we're doing, each person on our team, Carl's doing the chameleon, like, we're doing sessions to allow you to see exactly how we maximize that particular strength, right? And how we work as a unit. And so, man, the feedback has just been tremendous. But I do mean that when I say this has been one of the best tours, because as much as we talk about self-assessing and that being the most important thing, as you get ready to go to that next level in any area of your life, I just think this tour has helped people to do that, and we're just getting started.
No question.
I'm geeked about it.
Yeah, just getting started.
Yeah, one of y'all feel free to talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I thought he was saying something, so I kind
I
of
was
chilled.
done.
But he
You
was
know what
like,
I'm
"All
saying?
right, no, it was crazy.
No, I wasn't
to
saying
watch.
nothing. No, I just like, yeah, wow. It was deep.
Man, well, hey, I told y'all it's early. E. You gonna have to carry this pot. You know what I'm saying? Step up.
I'm ready to carry it once we get to the topic. I'm ready to get, I'm just not covering it.
You know what I'm saying? I want to do small talk with me. You know what I'm saying? Small
I'm
talk
not
with
interested.
me. We got a whole hour and a half to burn. We can't just jump straight topic. I get burned out after 20 minutes on the topic. Go ahead, Carl.
It was crazy to see.
Hey, this podcast off to a great start. Y'all are awesome.
Right here, right now. The curious part for me, because I was thinking through, like, for real, I'm sitting in the audience and I'm not a pilot. Like, am I interested in hearing it? So I was kind of like, yo, this is an interesting dynamic because I want to hear, the typical person, I want to hear, who I am. But the questions that came from each session, man, like, for real, you walk away from there, not just, like C said, not just knowing who you are, better understanding who you are and why you do what you do, but you now have an understanding of your team and why they do what they do. So it's people that you would consider the flight attendant asking questions, well, my spouse this, or, I got a business partner that's doing this. And now we can clearly say to you, oh, well, here's why. This person is 100%, they're the pilot, and this is why they're doing what they're doing. So it was just an interesting session, man, to watch people, like, those aha moments, like, whoa, I thought my man was just a jerk. It was one dude that he had an interaction with that, stuff that you could trace back to childhood that tells you why why you were reacting the way you're reacting to situations.
Yeah.
So it's real, like, people are getting some breakthroughs, man, from this stuff. So it's huge.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, no
for
question.
Sure.
Cool, man. Well, shout out to everybody who came out to Chicago, man. Again, just amazing. What's our next? What's the next one?
Yeah, New York, August, DMV, August.
But those are not on sale yet, right?
No, they're not on sale yet. We're working through some destinations, but we're close to hotels, the venues. We're close to getting signed, sealed, delivered contracts. And once we do that, but we know for sure, August, New York, August, the DMV area. We coming back to the DMV. Man, it seems like it's been so long.
It's been
and they do
years, bro.
Man,
Yeah.
DMV, they do us so, man, they take care of us, bro. The fan base in the DMV is unbelievable. We've done them wrong. We haven't been there, I think, since maybe Stay Ready. Maybe not even Greatness is Upon You. I think they probably, our last one and deal was
That's
Greatness
about
is Upon
3-4
You.
Wait,
years
we didn't
ago.
do a Stay Ready in DC? No, we did
I don't
Philly.
think so. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, shout out to the DMV, man. We coming back. We're gonna do it bigger than ever, man. So it was great. Thanks to everybody for coming. All right, let's get to the topic so E can start talking because I see he been chomping
You
at the
feel me?
bit.
I'm ready.
He wanted to do
I'm
this
ready.
last week, and I
Yeah,
denied
it
him.
didn't work out.
Yeah, because Carl was on fire from his first keynote. So, matter of fact,
Presentation.
Carl, is it getting easier to keynote now? Were you nervous? Yeah, you look like a natural up there. Were you nervous this time?
Not nervous one single bit, just to be transparent with you. And I told somebody up with the Chameleon group, like I put a text, like they were clowning me. We got a lot of them there. They're like, oh, Carl up there, he on stage, like da-da-da. And this is like a real moment for me, and I want people to listen to this closely. This started like 4 or 5 years ago on the Sunday call with Brandon and Sam. Like I said, again, y'all know me. I ain't necessarily the person that's trying to get up, but I said I'm gonna use the Bible word. I purposed in my heart that like every call I'm gonna say something on. Like, cause again, I know it's not my strength. So I was like, yo, let's get uncomfortable. Every single week you're gonna get on a call and I don't care what you said, but your voice will be heard on every single call. And that turned into now I'm pretty much moderating most of the calls that we do on the Sundays. And then I started the Chameleon call. So see, by the time I'm doing this now, dude, I promise you, it feels like I've put so many reps in just on the calls and talking to people and just that. Like, it didn't faze me. When I tell you none, like TJ and Felissa like looked at me after, was like, yo, I didn't even recognize you. Like, you just look so chill up there. And I can't sit here and think like, I did some magical. I'm just telling y'all, like, it's those reps that I put it on the weekly calls, just getting uncomfortable. Like, for real. Like, I used to joke, like, yo, I'm sweating on the Sunday call just saying like 4 lines. And not on like I'm scared, but it's just not my makeup, you know what I'm saying? So my body's reacting in a nervous way, like just to say something on the call when I first started. And now, like, a couple years doing this, man, I promise you, I did not feel. And it's weird, see, because I used to always ask E, like, yo, how you feel walking on stage? You don't get scared? E, like, yeah, sometimes I still feel something, like I'm impacting people's lives. But that feeling was about it. Like, yo, if I do this thing right, get yourself out the way, go out here and just tell your story and be real about it, man, people gonna walk away from here with lives changed, man. So, like, once that's the focus, see, you get yourself out the way, I'm not a nervous feeling at all. And it's weird for me to say that, but that's the reality of it. Just for real, I was chilling.
Wow. Yeah. Well, look how, you can experience growth in your life, and look at Carl. I mean, go from not even wanting to talk on the call, won't even talk to me and E. Just come in the office, sit down, be quiet, don't talk. Bro, I used to really think Carl was like a serial killer, though.
That's the
I used
other
to be
one.
like, okay, what's wrong with my man? He come in here every day and just don't even look at us like something's wrong. But now to keynoting, man, like I said, it's in front of 1,000 people, dog. Like it was like that's most people's biggest fear, and you, man, the growth is crazy. So shout out to you, man, for that. All right, now, so E and I can't remember, this conversation must have been like what, E, 2-3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
easy.
no,
maybe 2-3 weeks ago. Yeah, easy.
right. E hit me and was like, "Yo, we kind of talked about." I think it was a podcast, or was it the podcast where we said nice guys finish last? We talked about that particular concept, and somebody hit E up and was like, "Yo, like something about that particular podcast when y'all were talking about that, like didn't sit right with me. I'm a nice guy, and I believe, but I think he said like, but I'm struggling because I'm not where I want to be, but at the same time, I don't necessarily believe the nice guys finish last philosophy." And so E and I had an interesting conversation about it. And E, I'll kind of let you take it away and we'll jump into the discussion about it. But yeah, nice guys finish last. What are we talking about?
Yeah, so let me just paint the picture though. So this is YB who sent me over the email or the text, see, and I don't know if you remember, but he talked about, and man, when was the boot camp, y'all? I don't even remember the boot camp.
2015, 16?
Yeah, 15, 16, somewhere there.
So we pulled YB to the side. It was me, you, and Josh. And we kind of, had a conversation with him. And he was like, yo, it didn't sit right with him. He said he drove all the way home, like really kind of like pissed, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And we kind of checked him a little bit. It was the first time we had like this whole constructive criticism void, because, he was like YB the connector. And we were just really trying to get to the point, get him to get to the point of like, what is it that you do? And, kind of giving him some direction, like, yo, YB, that's cool, but I'm not really sure how you're gonna make money doing that. And he was like, yo, he felt in his heart that this was the direction he was supposed to go in. And the constructive criticism kind of took him, in a different direction. And, he was like, yo, friend, I'm just gonna be real. I was salty. I felt some type of way about it. But as he began to drive home, he said to himself, like, let's consider the source. Who did it come from? And I think that's critical for those of you who are not mature enough right now to handle constructive criticism. I really want you to ask yourself this question. Where is it coming from? You know what I'm saying? Is it pure? And I was having a conversation with CJ and Jalen. I just like, I just let my man know, like, first of all, let me just keep it 100 with you. Like, I've been there for you since you was born, since day one. So a lot of times, when I'm saying something to you, as your father, I'm saying, for real, you might put up a wall because you kind of like not really feeling the source. But I was like, son, one of the things you have to always understand is, like, I got your best interest in heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I ain't miss a football game. I ain't miss a practice. And I was on the road and I did my schedule around, you know what I'm saying? So even though you may not like what I'm saying, you got to understand that I have a level of expectation for you. And I want you to have the best life you can have. So just because you ain't feeling me, like, let's get to a point where you could just honestly say, like, yo, I'm not feeling it because this is what I want to do. But in my heart of heart, I know where my father, like, I know he care about me. Like, I know he looking out for me. Like, I know he wants the best. And for some of you, you are immature, and it's kind of like because you don't like the information, you want to discard the information, or you want to take it personal and you want to get your feelings involved. And one of the things I want to ask you to do is that when you get information, consider the source. Who's saying this to you? Is this a person that's always had your back? Is this a person who's looking out for you and looking after you? Like, who is the person that's saying it? And even though you may not be comfortable with it, let's just be real. Is it advantageous? And I think the one thing I want you guys to understand, again, we talked about it before. Know the difference between facts and feelings. If your feelings are involved, like, yo, I get you. I feel that. But be mature enough to say, yo, I'm on my feelings right now. Because feelings are not going to necessarily produce the outcomes that you're looking for. But facts are every time. If the facts line up, I promise you, 1 + 1 is going to give you 2. I promise you, every single time. All right. So I was just like, YB, man, consider the source, bruh. Like, we don't have nothing against you. We're honestly trying to help you. So you fast forward, and YB was just being real with me. See, he was like, yo, E, I'm gonna keep it 100. I still don't feel comfortable with what you said, but I'm mature enough to know now it's got to be some value in it if ET said it. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to have a conversation by myself. I need y'all to hear me. There are those of you in your own head, and so now you digging a hole for yourself when what you should do is go talk to the source. You feel me? Like you digging a hole, you thinking it through in your own brain, and now you coming up with these scenarios that don't even exist. So I have mad respect for YB because now he's a lot more mature. So he's listening to, and we probably need to play it at some point, but he's listening to the audio again, and he like, yo, E, bro, I got to talk to you about that video that they put up. And I was like, all right, which one? He was like, yo, E, you was going at it, bro. You was just talking about how nice guys finish last and how aggressive people finish first, in business. And well, he didn't say business. He just said finish first. And he's like, I'm just going to be real with you, E. I'm a nice guy. And I hate aggressive people. I just think about New York and people, and I'm from New York, E. And we can't stand the people who boom, 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 boom. And, he was just going at it. And I was just like, all right, you finished? You finished? He was like, yeah. I was like, all right, cool. Cause you told me you calling me to get the, to whatever. So let's deal with two things. The first one is you're not feeling it. But the last statement you made was you're not where you want to be. So I was like, see, which one do you want to talk about? How you feeling or you not where you want to be? Like which one you want to, like where you want to start with this? And he was like, I'm not where I want to be. I was like, good. So let me help you understand. You're not feeling something has absolutely nothing to do with anything. The fact that you're not feeling what I'm saying, that's irrelevant, bruh. The truth of the matter is you're not where you want to be. So let me explain to you what I meant by the statement. What I meant by the statement is that people who tend to be aggressive, and we're not focusing on aggression, what we're focusing on is they tend to know what they want and they are locked and loaded on that. Right? There's a sense of focus that they have. There's a direction that they're going in. There's something that they know they want. And there's a sense of urgency. There's this, I'm not going to take no for an answer. And I said, what you're focusing on is the aggression. What I want you to focus on is the confidence. They had this confidence that I have a product that you need, that I got an umbrella. You're going to need to get this joint. That I got eyeglasses, that you're going to need to buy these eyeglasses. I'm selling these shoes. You're going to need these shoes. I got this insurance. You're going to need this insurance. I'm selling cars. You're going to want to come to me for the car. And I said, you have to be cautious, YB, because you're looking at the aggression part. But I want you to understand what's behind that aggression. And what's behind that aggression is I have done my homework. I got the facts. And what I'm selling or what I'm presenting to you, I already know without a shadow of a doubt, it's the best of the best and it's going to work. And I said, I had to switch some stuff up, YB, because I was like kind of not confident as much as I should have been. But then when I started looking at like, yo, E, you really care about the people you're speaking to. Yo, E, you're not trying to get paid off of these people. Yo, E, their success is your success. Yo, E, you ain't never tried to get up on these people a day in your life. Yo, E, y'all putting out content that's rich, and then y'all don't got no back end. I was like, yo, E, you got the right to get on stage and demand however much you charge. You have, because you're looking out for people. You have the right, E, you prepare yourself. You have the right. When y'all did the cut and the videos and the editing and the music and the car, that you have the right, and so I was just telling him, you're looking at the aggression part of it. You're not looking at the confidence. You're not looking at this person feeling like they studied, they did their homework. You're not looking at that part. So what I want you to see is that this aggression is based on, yo, I really feel like I'm the man for the job, the woman for the job. I got the product that you want. And I was like, yo, YB, that's what you need to start focusing on, the confidence part, because the reason why you feel a little funny about being that aggressive is because you're looking at it from this person is being demanding, this person is being forceful, this person is being, they're not considering how the other person feels, they pushy, they just gonna push their stuff on people. I was like, that's the part you're seeing. You're seeing the external, you're not seeing the internal. Why do they feel comfortable pushing? Why do they feel comfortable driving? Why do they feel comfortable demanding? Why is Michael Jordan saying, give me the doggone ball with 4 seconds left? Why is James Harden saying, give me that rock? Why is your boy from Portland saying, give me the ball and I'm gonna shoot it from half court with no seconds left in a game 7, not because they're trying to be forceful or driving or demanding, but because they've done all the homework, they put in the work and they feel confident. And I was like, yo, I hate to say this, YB, but for a lot of us who are not pushy, driving, demanding, it could possibly be that we don't have the confidence, and that's why we're not doing it.
Yeah, no, and there's a lot to unpack there. I think even starting, let's take it in order that you actually said it. You talked about the filters and the feedback, right? Like with Jalen, and considering the source, and it does that. I think the one thing I want you to hit on is, does the source, does it come from a pure place? Because that can be one of the hardest things in the world, is deciphering which information you should take in, right? Because you got some people who, they take in too much information, and they got, their filter's too good, if you will. Like, your mom said this, your dad said this, and you're taking in all this information, and what's happening is you're getting confused. So again, you're saying in this case, obviously, you've been with Jalen for a long time, and sometimes he has trouble hearing you. But for the average person out there, I think maybe people are taking too much input, and maybe that's just my guerrilla side of I don't want to hear everybody's opinion. But I think you got people out there too who they like, you run into them at the conference, they're like, yo, I was about to do this, my mom said this, my dad said this, but my best friend, you know what I mean? And they take in too much. So how do you protect against taking in too much information, and maybe you're too susceptible to change when people come to you with information?
So for me,
before you answer,
go for it.
Real quick,
Carl,
before you go, I'm just saying there's the other level to that, is social media. Like, again, people, play with it. But I heard somebody put a quote saying, yo, social media is opening your life to everybody else's opinion. And I'm saying with the generation that we in now, like, that's weighing on them. So in addition to, just the people around you, now you driven by, what this person gonna say, what they gonna say, because you posting everything. So that's a whole nother level to it. My bad, you go for it.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's good. But it's funny you said that, see, because, I forget stuff. But I was literally in the car yesterday. Dee like, what were you talking to? I was like, I'm on the podcast. She's like, what? I was like, yeah, I got to remember this for the podcast tomorrow, because I'll forget. And I forgot. But what I was going to say is that everybody that's listening, you need your own personal metric for how you take in information. Like, I really want you, when you get off this podcast, I really want you to create, if you don't have one already, your own personal system for taking in information, all right? So I'm gonna give you guys 2 examples. I'm gonna give you my marriage, and I'm gonna give you the company, right? So when it comes to my marriage, or I should say, I'm sorry, guys, when it comes to my personal life, right? Didi has been with me since I was 16 years old, right? And we've been together since 1987, right? Listen to me very closely,
87?
Guys. When it,
Goodness
87.
gracious. I was 5.
Since 87.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 87.
Oh, and a half, 5.
8 or 9.
Yeah, no
I was
questions
like
asked, because it was,
man.
it was July, see? So yeah, he was definitely
and did
4
he
and a
have
half.
on the Michael Jackson jacket in July?
Yes, he did. Yeah, she had the, yeah.
With
well,
the
I don't know if it
J.
was, yeah, only because Mike was coming to town. So it don't care what the weather is. You got to look like Mike. You feel me? You got to look like Mike. You feel me?
Bruh,
So,
Didi with the Michael Jackson jacket on in July with the Jerry curl.
have you seen it though?
nuts.
With the Jerry
Did you see
curl.
it? Have you seen the
It's
picture yet?
crazy.
Did you
And
see the
fact
picture
that
yet?
you blew out when you seen her. It's even more.
Oh yeah, I was blew out, bro. But have you seen the picture? See?
Oh yeah, you know I have. You know I have.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
Tell
yeah,
him
yeah.
that
So,
it's human nature.
It's human nature.
Right? You said you would be
I'm
blew
sorry,
out
y'all.
too. See if you saw her then.
Oh, bro, I
Hey.
promise you, that is my favorite pick, dog.
And it's the bang. I think it was the bang. See, I think it was the Jerry curl bang that got
And she was
bang.
light skinned, so I'm trying.
Yeah. If she'd have pulled it back, see, I don't know if I would have liked it as much. But the bang, I think, is what.
Okay.
Yeah, because she was looking like Mike.
Yeah, the zippers was next level. Yeah, all right, continue. I'm sorry. I just
All right, my
you
bad.
said 87.
I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I guess that was
Yeah.
primetime Thriller.
Yeah, no questions asked. I'm sorry, y'all. So for real, you should get a system. So in my personal life, because I've been with Didi for so long, when it comes to anything personal, that's who I go to. So while I love my mom and respect my mom to life, my pastor, like I literally go to Didi on how should we spend money? So for instance, somebody could have like a sweet, like with Maul. Maul got a sweet system on the whole, like how you do debt, right? But for Didi hates debt. So for me, it's like, okay, I want to be able to do what Maul is saying, but I know my wife at Gorilla, she gonna be pissed if I'm in debt. So I like Maul, I feel you, it's great debt, but I'm gonna pay off my house and then I'm gonna do real estate. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how my girl, like that's what she wants. So for me, it's like, yo, it could be some sweet information coming from 50 sources, but I've been with Didi since 87. Like this was the person when I was homeless and a high school dropout that got me to where I am. So I'm making my business that anything, I'm talking about anything, how I speak, how I look, how I dress. Like I'm not really concerned with what anybody else think. If Didi I like it, I like where you going, I'm good because my marriage is the most important thing to me. Business. Look, I ain't even had this. I'm being real with y'all on the podcast. 90% of the conversations that come to me about business and how I should do business, I've never talked to CJ about it. But I would not ever entertain nobody else other than C. I've had people come to me with all kind of ideas. People telling me, E, you the man, you the number one motivational speaker in the world. You should be doing this. You know how you could be doing this. I don't even know why you still with the team. You could get with this company and this company. Bruh, I promise you, I only listen to CJ when it comes to how we do business. I don't listen to nobody else. And so to your point, C, I literally have a system, right? And so I don't necessarily talk about the system, but my home life, I don't care what Jalen think. I don't care what Jada think. I go to Didi. Hey, D, you think I'm being too hard on Jalen? Absolutely not. Hey, Didi, you think I'm doing this with Jada? No, you good. And if Didi say, yo, I think you might need to make some adjustments, then I'm going to go, all right, where you think I need to make the adjustments? But outside of that, I don't have my mom in my ear. I don't got my pastor in my ear.
At the same time, E, like you just said it, Didi been with you so long. I've been with you for 13, 14 years. You talking about somebody who maybe made this change or just got out of college who, they don't have anybody. They don't have a Didi. They don't have a CJ. They kind of just trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
and you got a lot of random people coming in your life with information. And you're not sure how to filter that from people
well, you just said it though. See, if they're random and they haven't given you any time, then you automatically know you don't know me enough. You're not been around me enough. Like I can't do it. If you're not my mentor, and you know what I'm saying? Like we had a mentor-mentee relationship and you feel like you could trust that person. And so it's early in the career and you giving them that trust. But no, for real, your life is so valuable that you can't take information from people that you met 3 weeks ago. And I'm not saying they don't have good information. See, I'm saying that they don't know you well enough. So with me and you, I don't trust you because we've been together for 15 years. That's not why I trust you. You feel what I'm saying? I've known people longer than I've known you that I don't have the same amount of trust for because we've been together for 20 years. So the trust that I have in you is not based just on time. It's based on what has happened in that time. You feel me? So yeah, you might be right.
So then you said it's a formula. So what is the formula? Time times what? Times experience, times trustworthiness, like?
Yeah, I'd say time, I'd say trust, time times trust. So I've been able to trust you. Like you've made some decisions that are trustworthy. So you've done some things that was like, oh, okay, we got this problem. C stepped in, handled that problem, check. All right, good. C didn't take the job at Western Michigan. Instead, he was like, yo, I'm gonna rock with you in this company. Okay, check. He made a sacrifice. You feel me? Okay, check. It's not manipulative relationship. It's a relationship that's based on pureness of heart. Okay, C not putting C over us. It's us. It's not like C is saying, well, this is what's a benefit to me, so I'm gonna do this. No, it's, notice.
C in Paris, staying on the same time zone as us.
Right. You feel me? So C has made some sacrifices that's saying, yo, he's really about not just him, he's about us. And I think when first of all, it should be your parents. Like, just off the cuff to me, until you get married, until you have a business partner, if your parents have been in your life, and they haven't, physically abused you or sexually abused you. I mean, people make mistakes. We parents. But if they have been solid parents, I think your parents should always be the people you listen to first. Your little friend in high school, I'm not trying to be funny, unless you grew up maybe in a smaller town, 90% of y'all are not going to have friends from high school that you run with for the rest of your life. You feel me? So I think parents should be first. If there's a teacher or a coach that has been in your life and has proven to, be consistent, absolutely. Even if you 17, 18 years old and you got a friend from, middle school, I don't know that another 18-year-old is really in a position to teach you because they've not experienced life yet. So for me, see, it's time. It's your decisions you made are solid decisions for yourself and for me. You've proven that I could trust you. And more importantly, you have a pure heart. You're not perfect, but you have a pure heart. Your motives is not what can I take from this person, but what can I give to this person? I think for me, those are like, I'm telling you, we could probably give 100, but those are 4 for me that make me with Didi go, okay, Didi, first of all, gave me her allowance. Didi has always been a person that pushed me. You need to go to college. She's always pushed me. You need to get your credit together. She put me on her credit card without me knowing it, got my credit up, bought a house, graduated first, got us health insurance, took us off welfare. So all the moves she's made have been moves that have benefited both of us. We have to be careful about being in relationships where, it's not beneficial. Like you like the person, you feeling the person, but every time you look at it, they are abusing you, whether it's physically abusing you, verbally abusing you, putting you in a real bad spot, but you're like, I like them. I don't care if you like them or not. I don't care if you feeling them or not. Are the decisions they're making for themselves and you prospering y'all? Are y'all progressive as a result of it? So that's why I said, you have people come to me all the time and I'm like, yo, first of all, and I remember having a conversation with a group of people and I had to say to them, like, yo, what is it about you that you would exclude C? Like, I would never exclude C from this process. Why are you talking to me about the kind of money I could make without including C in this process? Like, why would you do that? So for me, that's a red flag. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you say you looking out for me, but you understand how we roll as a team, and this is the pilot. So why would you be telling me to do something without the pilot being a present? So that's a sign for me that even though your words are saying, yo, I'm looking out for you, I got your best interest in heart, you could be making way more money, you could be doing way more stuff. Okay, that's a red flag to me. Why? Because you're saying one thing with your mouth, but if you know it's me and Didi, why are you talking to me without Didi? Like, why me and you got to have a conversation without Didi being present? Like, what are you trying to hide? You feel me? So y'all got to be careful just because people say what you want to hear, or just because people, give you this, idea that they have your best interest in heart. You still have to look at, can I trust this person? Has this person put in time? What are their motives
Is this
prior
person
to
competent?
me? Right. Absolutely.
I was thinking, imagine me calling Steph Curry tonight, like, yo, Steph, I know you, you a beast, but make sure that when my man F. Harden guarding you, make sure you go right. Like, really? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's sometimes what happens. You got people, I read a meme the other day that said, like, yo, don't even take criticism from somebody that's doing less than you. Like, that's the first metric, E. If the person not doing more than you or competent in the area that you in, like that, you end the conversation early and just walk away. But yeah, see, competence is like one of the biggest ones. It don't make sense talking to me if you don't know what I'm doing.
But you know what people want, Carl? They don't want competence. What they want is somebody to agree with them. And that, to me, like, that's a dangerous place, because a lot of us, we want to, and I always say to my son, like, yo, son, I'm not stupid. Don't you understand that I know if I tell you everything you want to hear, that we gonna be kumbaya? You understand? Like, I'm not stupid. I'm almost 50 years old. If you call me and if I say something that you don't want to hear, then I'm already knowing that could put a strain on our relationship. I'm not stupid, but I'm not willing to say whatever you want me to say so that we can stay cool. I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to put you in harm's way just so we could be kumbaya. I'm your parent. I'm not your homie. Now, do I want to have a great relationship with you? Absolutely, but not at the cost of your health. And I see a lot of y'all, you will call me or you'll consult with C about speaking. And then when we tell you the truth, you like, I don't want to hear that. So you're going to go to the person that's going to tell you what you want to hear, make you feel good, you know what I'm saying, for that moment, but they're going to destroy you in the future. And I told YB, I'm like, yo, YB, I'm you, bruh. I'm you. I don't never want to I always want to put the relationship first. I never want to put the facts before the relationship. But what kind of person would I be if I did that? And I want to explain to you that the reason why I'm saying aggressive people finish first is because I said, for real, let's be real. When we do it the way we do it with the relationship, boy, you going all around, you beating all around the bush. You're not really saying what you want because you're afraid if you say it direct that they might take it the wrong way, and then you're not going to get the opportunity. So you beat around the bush. And I was like, yo, as soon as you start beating around the bush, you're never going to finish first. Why? Because when you beat around the bush, I don't really know what you want. I don't know what you're saying. And I can't tell you how many times people used to come to me and say, yo, E, bruh, I don't really know what I'm not really sure what you meant. Like, I'm not really sure what you just said. Or you communicated with me, and I would be frustrated. Like, yo, I just told you. But the reason why they didn't understand what I was saying, because I wasn't direct. You feel me? And I was kind of like caring about how you felt and didn't want to hurt your feelings. So I knew how to say it. But because of your feelings, I was kind of going a roundabout way to say what I really wanted to say. And guess what? That blew up in my face. That didn't necessarily work. So I was like, yo, E, why are you doing that? It's not working anyway. So say what you want, mean what you say. You feel me? And then what's going to happen is you're going to kill all the fluff. Either a person is going to go, you know what, E, that's right, bruh. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Let me move forward. Or, yo, E, what was you saying? I didn't understand it. And guess what? We waste more time having 3-4 conversations with you trying to understand what I'm saying and me trying to protect your feelings than me just to say it blunt and outright.
Welcome to why I've been a gorilla my whole life,
question.
bro.
Yeah.
No, and I'm gonna let y'all talk about this because I figured out this recipe for success long ago. And to me, again, you leave so much room for interpretation. Now, the downfall of that is I don't always say it in the most digestible way, right? So sometimes I'd rather say it and like blow everything up and then put the pieces back together. So at least you know exactly where I stand, than to, kind of like hem-haw around it and then let it be like a 6-week thing where we gotta go, where we end up getting to it eventually. And it's like, yo, I could have told you this conversation one, right off the rip. Now, it's not gonna feel good, but I've always been one of those people who like, and my wife hates it, but like I just ripped the Band-Aid off. Like I'd rather, like the torture is when you pulling it, watching each hair pop off your skin. That like
Lord
to
have
me,
mercy.
that to me is the harder thing to do actually. But some kind of way in your mind, in the non-gorilla mind is like, oh, okay, if I just rip it off real slow, it ain't gonna hurt as bad. And I'm like, no, it's gonna hurt worse because it takes forever. By the time you get done ripping it off, I'd already ripped it off and forgot that I even had it on. And so to me, that's always been my logic for wanting to do the Gorilla Boy. Again, not because I'm feeling good by having awkward conversations. I just understand that staying in that and giving somebody the real right then and there is the best way because one, we get through it quicker, and two, you don't have to judge where I'm standing. You don't never have to worry about where I'm standing. You know what I mean? And if I try to, go around it, then you might be like, oh, C said I was kind of decent and then I was straight and I need to just keep practicing. No, C said you need to give it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, on to the next, bro. This ain't your gift, And so I just feel like you waste a lot of time that other way. But I'll let Carl speak to it because this is like natural. You know what I'm saying? Something that's natural for me.
You feel me?
Yeah, and it's this last 2 weeks, y'all. And I said, I'll start here. I said, look, if my grandmother's passing don't change my life, I could as well just accept who I am. This is it. You know what I mean? I think I said it last week. So I've been really, really intentional the last 2 weeks about just looking at who I am and what I do. And I think the reason that I would avoid it before, just to be real with you, is like, man, I'm trying to be strategic. Again, back to the whole, the ground, what's it called, E? The ground, we transitioned from the chameleon to the ground staff. But it's like, I don't want to play my hand, see. That's what it is. Like, I'm trying to be strategic. Like, if I tell C this, now he know exactly. Like, I'm trying to be a strategist and at least hold something back. I'm just saying, playing the game of life. You never fully, and I'm just saying, speaking from my heart, this is me never fully giving you all because, like, I ain't got no more card to play if I give you all that. Like, nah, he know exactly where I'm coming from. Now he know what I'm thinking, and I can't necessarily play that. But E, and I don't know if we said it on the podcast, E, but the thing that you said in, y'all be thinking with me and C said we E biggest fans. But when you talked in Jamaica about being reckless, like that thing, I almost walked out of the spot when you said that. Because like that was the thing. And what he was saying when he talked about being reckless, y'all getting some of the VIP content right here. It's like, you've been with these people.
Sorry to everybody who had to pay for that.
Right, they had to pay for it. But he was like, you've been in this relationship. You've been with this group of people. You've been in this circumstance for 10, 20 years. You know that they got your back. You know that, you trust each other, your marriage, whatever, and you still holding something back. Like, what do you need an ass for in that situation? It was just, like, that hit me. I was like, what do you
need a big joker for? You know what I'm saying?
What do I need a joker for? You know what I'm saying? And the reality is, like, the information that I had up to this point in life was like, protect yourself. You don't ever know what could happen. Protect yourself. You see what I'm saying? So I need people to hear what I'm saying. You going into it with that perspective of, like, I can't trust nobody, nowhere, the world crazy, yada, yada, yada. At some point, if you're going to have real fulfilling life and relationships, you're going to have to let that go. You got to break that barrier down and let people in. Bottom line, I'm telling y'all this from me learning it now. This ain't on no, like that. See, I'm glad you called it out like that. This ain't like, I ain't never hit C like, you wrong. You said this to me. I ain't never do that. I'm always like, he always tease me like, oh, Carl ain't gonna say nothing. He gonna process it and he might come back. He might not, whatever. But I know he ain't gonna say nothing. And that was it. Like, if I say this and they know exactly.
But that's the most frustrating thing for me though, man, because, I promise you, you could look at the last 20 arguments I got in, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I promise you, bro, I got a problem with you. I'm picking up the phone, I'm dialing your number, and I'm saying it right then and there. And I can't tell you how many times people have been like, 6 months after the fact, like, I just, had resentment. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, dog, like, what are you even talking about? Like, one, you got my number. Like, if it's an issue, pick up the phone and call me. And I think people try to avoid conflict. And I'm like, it's coming anyway. So now you let resentment build up, you know what I'm saying? Or like me and my wife, and again, dang, I hate the podcast because you got to be transparent. Me and my wife had a conversation last night, and I'm like, okay, so one of our marriage counseling session here, one of our main, like, we great. Like, I love my wife, she loved me. Shout out to my wife. But one of our biggest issues has always been that, I'm more, what is it called? Communal, when you like community oriented. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. And I think probably E and Diddy had that same thing.
Oh,
but
no question.
But
No question.
I enjoy spending time with my wife and other people. So like, let's say this, me, Carl, me, Candace, Carl, Tamisha, E and Diddy, we all go out triple date, right? We go to the movies, we go to dinner, come home. I'm feeling like that was a great time spending time with my wife. She feels like we ain't spending no time together, right? Like that's just always been an issue in our marriage because I'm like, yo, that was great. And she like, I'm not necessarily full from that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a whole powwow and I love, our friends and family for sure, but like I need more one-on-one time. So I'm saying, so this rears its head because eventually we kind of revert back to who we are, right? And so last night we were having a conversation and it was a great conversation. This, communication in the marriage is key, but she had kind of mentioned like, okay, we've been, even now, mind you, they came on the road with me to Chicago. So I got my whole family. So they've been with me. So I'm thinking, I'm full. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had not
all
one
that
day.
time,
Yeah, not one day without my wife. And so she like, no. We gotta, whatever. And I could tell like, I ain't gonna say it had been building up, but I could tell like, she probably had been thinking this for the last month and hadn't said nothing. And I was just telling her last night, like, boo, you just gotta tell me, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't. And she like, oh, well, I know you busy and I ain't wanna like act like you not handling your business. Like, I'm like, nah. I'm like, yo, just check me. Like, hey, look, homie, I know we've been hanging out and going to conferences and we've been there, pseudo kind of there, not there, but me and you need some one-on-one, like, just tell me, And so that's one of the things that constantly, not only in, my marriage, but in relationships outside, it's like that's where like the enemy get in is when there's no direct line of communication. Like that's where the chance for, misinterpretation or feelings, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm glad my wife told me because now I can make the correction. You better believe today I'm doing lunch and you know what I mean? And not because I don't want to, just because it's not in my nature. It's not my first thing to think about to be like, oh, okay, well, I miss you so much. I'm like, we've been together. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to make the adjustment, but the quicker you tell me, the quicker we have a conversation, the quicker I can fix it. Now I'm not, again, to E's point, I'm not taking all that feedback from everybody. Now, from my wife, no doubt. If you feeling like that, cool, I'm with it. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the end of the day, I just like knowing where people stand. And E was there countless amount of times because I am aggressive and I think people like, it almost make people scared to say something to me because they think I'm a snap. But you two on the line though, I'll be the first one, if I'm wrong, to be like, oh, shoot, I ain't mean it like that, or two, I can see why you took it like that, my bad. I don't have a problem admitting fault, but I do have a problem when you got a problem with me and I got to go 8 months and you building up resentment and then you kind of got, like, dog, just tell me.
Yeah.
So,
and I want to speak to that person, see? I want to speak to that person who's doing that, because I know why you're doing it. You feel me? Like, I get it. I remember, when I would have, challenges with my mom, and I mentioned this before, if it didn't go the way I thought it should go because I was so relational and I put so much into not just the relationship, but my feelings, it would always backfire on me because I'd be like, okay, if I go and tell her the truth again, this gonna happen again. And I don't want that to happen. So I'd rather not talk to her. But what I realized, in hindsight is that, the reason why it happened like that, because you did go in with feelings. So the thing I'm learning now, guys, if I go talk to CJ about something that I think needs to be altered, I don't have to go in with feelings. Like, I don't have to think about what is this going to do to our relationship. It's not going to do nothing to the relationship. It's business. It has nothing to do with the relationship. And you don't have to make both of them go together. I was talking to somebody the other day that was like, it's awkward sometimes because you're my shepherd. I'm like, that don't got nothing to do with business. And if you're not mature enough to do both, like, don't bring shepherd into the business. Like, I'm your boss. We work together. So if you have something that you think is going to be helpful for the business, that has nothing to do with me at church with you. And you got to learn how to divide the two. So I'm telling those of you who are listening, you have to divide the two. Why? Because as you're hearing what we're saying, avoiding, waiting, all of those things equal not getting what you want, because either you're wasting time, either you're not communicating, or you're not communicating effectively. And so people don't know. So with the aggressive boy, you're looking at the negative side of it. You're looking at the forceful. You're looking at this person is in my face. You're looking at, we're having a conversation that for real may be uncomfortable. It may be uncomfortable to have certain conversations. It is. But when you are direct, what happens is people know, understand,
Period.
they're clear, and they can make a decision based on that.
Now you might not feel great, but you clear. You clear.
Absolutely, you're
Look
clear.
at my man Gordon Ramsay, Hell's Kitchen. My man letting you know, and I'm not saying you got to be a
point
jerk
blank.
on that level, but I promise you, you ain't got to wonder what my man thinking.
I mean, you don't. And so to C's point, and I just want to go back so that you guys can make the judge. Who are we listening to? We're listening to the people who we value, and we're valuing them because of what they've done in the past, the sacrifices they've made, the whatever. So I love my mom, but I'm at a point now where facts, you leave and cleave, right? So these are facts, guys. As a Christian, this is what I believe. You leave and you cleave. So I made a decision to get married. I've been in this marriage, almost 30 years, right? So when we do a conference, right, I just want to show y'all what it looks like. My wife is a pilot. She's not a stewardess, right? And again, like C said, what Chris gave me, phenomenal. But I just realized for some people, they couldn't handle the aggressiveness, the gorilla, they couldn't handle. And then some people they didn't see the unity. Whereas with the plane, I'm just showing you that we all have to work together. The grounds crew, we can't get nowhere without the bags being put on, the gas being put on, food being put on, my man directing, the air traffic control, we need that. Like, we work together to get to a destination. Whereas in the jungle, sometimes it just seems like, well, I'm a gorilla and I'm a this and I'm a that. And I didn't want that separation. I wanted y'all to understand that while we are uniquely gifted and have a superpower, we must work together as one to get to this point. So my wife is a pilot. She wants to go on the plane and fly the plane. She does not want to talk to everybody that's getting on the flight. But what my wife said was, this is a major event for you. I don't like talking to people like that. Then I have MS. So there are certain things literally that gets on my nerve, right? Literally, right? Her myelin sheath, which is the covering of your nerves, you don't have that when you have MS. So it's like somebody putting a finger on a chalkboard and going down. And so there are people who are going to ask Didi a million questions. She can't handle that. Like, mentally, she can't handle it. And people just don't know, for real, they're not being evil. They just don't know she got MS. They don't know what it's like. So they just had these crazy conversations with her. But Didi was like, yo, I love you.
Excuse is. You know what I'm saying? I'm just,
okay.
I'm like, what do I got? You know what I'm saying? I just got them pissed.
Right. You don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you just,
I just got you on my nerves, period.
You getting on my nerves, right. But so Didi was like, I'm going to come. I'm going to sit in the back. But when the event was over, she was like, yo, I sacrificed. I did the 9 to 5 boy. We ain't going to nobody's house. We ain't going no more people. We going home. Now, if you want to go, you can go by yourself, which, I want to be by myself. I don't want to go alone. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I want to be with you. So I just want y'all to understand what I'm saying. Maul could have come up to me, and Maul did. Like, yo, E, we going to the crib. And to C's point, yo, where do I want to be? I want to be with a house full of people. That's where I want to be. I want to be where the food is catered.
All right, slow down now, E, because I went to the house. You know what I'm saying? So,
I know.
You know what I'm saying? In case she hear this, she's yep, you see,
it was
E, why don't you listen to your mentor?
Well, she ain't going to be doing this.
Well, we got it, bro. You follow the instructions.
That's Candace's part. That's Candace's part because she wants to be a stewardess and not a pilot. Didi letting it be known, like you said. To your point, Didi letting it be known. Like, yo, when Didi said on our way there, let it be known at 5 o'clock, that last pick you take, I'm getting in the car. We going home. We gonna go shopping for a few minutes. I gotta take something back. We getting something to eat. Then we going to the hotel. And I'm like, yo, for real, you sacrificed. You came. Didi came both days. You feel me? And normally,
Yeah.
if it's not at a hotel, she won't do that. So I'm just trying to tell y'all, my wife is like direct. Like, yo, say what you want. And look, bro, we have conversations all the time. She's not getting her feelings. That's what I love. I could tell Didi something that I'm feeling like funny about, and she ain't gonna be like in her feelings about it. She like, okay, is it true? All right, let me make the adjustment. If it's not, I think, I'm gonna be real with you, Eric. I just think you being sensitive. And I have to take the L. I am being sensitive. And I can be sensitive, doggone it. That's the nature of who I am. So I have to make sure that I balance that, but I'm just trying to tell you what I said to YB was, yo, YB, I don't have a problem making money no more because I'm not saying, oh, how much is in your budget? I'm not doing that no more. I charge $55,000. That's what I charge. You got it or you don't have it. Now we can have a discussion if you don't have it, but this is what I charge. I fly first class. I don't fly what you want me to fly. And if you say, well, we don't pay people to fly first class, okay, I can decide not to come. So I am learning in relationships, yo, E, you could be as, stewardess as you want. You can, talk to all the people as they coming on the plane if you want to. But when you're doing business or you're doing something that requires a decision, you have to be forceful, driving, demand. You have to be. Because you have to let people know what you want. Because if you don't, you feel like, oh, they trying to get over on me. No, they are not. They have an agenda. They're trying to get their agenda across. And you can't be mad at them because they know what they want and they're going to fight for what they want. If you're not going to fight for what you want. And I remember, for those of you who are listening, that like you have my personality. I want you to hear it. I remember being upset because I thought that you should care about my agenda like I care about yours. Why should? Like, not in a bad way, but who even knows what your agenda is? Who knows what's in your mind? Like, who even knows what you're trying to, don't nobody know what's in your brain? Nobody knows. So it's not like, somebody saying they want this, and that. Like, they was only trying to spend $30,000. They weren't trying to spend 50. They don't know what I charge without having a conversation with me. So I realized, like, yo, E, you the one messed up. Say what you want. And then if it gets to a point where what the person wants is something different than what you want, then you two can just come up to with you guys can talk it out and then just say, yo, what's a compromise? And so Didi said, I think a healthy compromise is me coming to both days. But I think another compromise is as soon as you finish that last pick, don't talk to nobody. And let me tell y'all, you know how hard it is, bruh? Do you know how hard it is when people coming up to you saying, E, you changed my life, bruh. I just need 5 minutes. And my wife is like, yo, 5 minutes is going to turn into, if 10 people give you 5, that's an hour. I need to go. I've given you, I've done my part. I need you to do yours. So I've had to learn here's the thing, I quit because we're going to hour 15. No is a complete sentence. I've had to learn that, Carl. No is a complete sentence. I don't need to add nothing with it, add nothing to it. No. Bottom line. And I'm not saying no because I'm being evil.
That's like the exact opposite definition of flamingo.
Complete, yeah. So that's it. See, so for E to say it, it's tough.
Yeah, I'm just trying to say to everybody, Carl, I don't think you should be anything. Like, yo, I felt Chris, but I don't think you should be flamingo when it's time to make decisions. When it's time to make decisions, bro, you got to make decisions the way decisions supposed to be made. And what's that? That's direct. You can't make a decision as a people person. You feel me? And that's what I just had to learn.
You talking about no as a sentence. No is a
sentence,
full novel, a trilogy.
I'm talking about a trilogy.
Carl, I'm talking about the Avengers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the Avengers. End game. It's the end game. It's the end game, bro.
Bro, a sentence, a complete. Wow.
In business, YB, in business. Yeah, so that's it. I think we answered that.
No is a complete sentence. You know what else is a complete sentence? Go get you some Organifi. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Shout out to our sponsor, Organifi, the superfood green juice powder. That's keeping all of us fueled in order to bring you this amazing podcast, right? You know, we get up and drink that joint. Brought E back to life the other day. He was on the deathbed with the flu and brought him right back.
They try to get me. They try to get me, bro. They try to right back in the saddle. Right back.
And I'm always amazed at the number of people who show up to the conferences with their Organifi And man, you know what's crazy, man? People are like, yo, I got it just to support y'all. You know, I figured, you know, I like the podcast, wanted to show y'all love, so I copped some, but man, I'm on my 4th reorder. I'm on my 5th reorder. And so, man, again, for those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, where you been, welcome, hello. But the Organifi is just a vegetable supplement that all of us have been taking. And it's not just vegetables. They have a huge product line. I always talk about the green juice. People are like, see, you always talk about the green, you don't talk about the red and the gold. Well, it's probably because the green is my favorite, and I take it every single day. My wife is taking it every day. If you try to get up and juice every day and it doesn't quite work out for you, I just suggest you check out the Organifi, man. Just open the packet, pour it in some water, shake it up, and get it on the go, man. So shout out to Organifi. Go to their website. We got a promo code there that'll give you a large discount. It's Organifi.com, ORGANIFI.com, promo code SUCCESS. And yeah, go check us out.
This segment is brought to you by HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, each box is made up of fresh, responsibly obtained ingredients selected from high-rated, trusted firms. There are 3 plans to choose from. There's the classic plan, which contains a variety of meats, the veggie plan, which contains vegetarian as well as plant-based proteins, and a family plan, which are quick and easy meals for those of you on the go. With their global eats options, it brings authentic international dishes and flavors to home cooks for exciting new meals. This is the stuff that you guys are not cooking. It's not the traditional rice and potato and, you know, all the stuff that we're doing all the time. It's not the pasta, y'all. It's the international, traditional stuff that's coming right to your home with all the seasonings, everything that you need. All the ingredients are pre-measured and labeled meal kits. Cooking will become something you actually look forward to when coming home from work. This week, my family did the mushroom ravioli gratin. Man, let me tell y'all something. The mushrooms, the thyme, the Parmesan, like you put all these things together and I'm getting hungry now again talking about it. This is one that we're going to add to the weekly, the weekly routine that we throwing in there now. Like this one has made it. We got the, my other favorite one we did was this black bean burrito that was fire. We did, like I said, we did the vegetarian options because my parents are here with me and they're rocking the vegetarian. But that black bean joint and this ravioli, those are two new favorites. When you guys subscribe to HelloFresh, there are many benefits so you can keep enjoying week after week. Get delicious filling meals delivered right to your door every week for less than $10. Less than $10 per serving and free shipping. Manage your account easily by choosing your delivery date to match your schedule. And you can pause it when you're on vacation. So sign up today, guys, for a total of $80 off your first month by going to HelloFresh.com/success80 and use the promo code SUCCESS80, and that's success and the number 8080.
You know what? We got a lot of questions in the thing about and I feel bad. We probably will up our podcast rating, but there's like 5 questions in here for Ask ET about are any of us watching Game of Thrones. I don't believe either of you gentlemen have ever seen an episode. I know I have not.
I've seen an episode on the plane. I seen the thing on the plane.
Yeah,
it said,
but you know what?
saying,
Delta, somebody, if you know somebody at Delta Studio, tell them, stop putting season 8 on the plane. Like nobody just gets on the plane to watch season 8. Start from the jump.
Right.
Cause I want that's a good time. Cause I'll be honest, sometimes on the plane, I get motion sickness. So I can't, sometimes trying to work and look at my phone and concentrate, I get motion sick. That's where I love watching movies, is on the plane. But every time I go to something like series wise, it's like season 4, episode 10. Like, thanks Delta. I'm just gonna jump in right at the. But anyway, I've never seen Game of Thrones. I'm maybe the only person left on the planet.
Didi didn't know what it was yesterday. Mate. Yeah, Didi kept saying, like, because it was all through her feed. She's like, what is the Game of Thrones? I said, only thing I know about the Game of Thrones is short little white female to be on dragons. That's the only thing I've ever seen is she got a couple dragons.
It gotta be sweet. Like, I'm not hating on it.
I'm not like
one of them people like, I'm too busy to watch it. No, I want to watch it.
No.
I just ain't never seen it. So I have not seen that, I feel terrible, nor have I seen Avengers. So I'm way behind.
We need to get with it. Let's go do a retreat
got through
and
season.
just watch movies.
I just got through season 2 of Scandal, y'all. So y'all know I ain't even should be in this conversation.
Oh yeah, no, Carl, you way behind.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm talking about way behind.
No, Carl,
You know what's
Carl was
crazy, though?
behind. Hey, remember Carl 2 years ago? Carl was on Wire, whatever that was. Carl was
yeah.
started watching
I'm
Wire.
just on the wire. Yeah.
Yeah, he just started watching
My
Wire.
problem, especially around this time, though, is like I don't have a whole lot of time to watch TV, and when I do, I'm going straight sports. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, shoot,
you got another
I don't
month
know
of
when
good
I'm
sports,
I can't
and then
even
after
stay
that,
up for the game. You know what I mean? I purposed in my heart, like Carl, I was gonna stay up, and I was knocked out by 10:40. So yeah, no, I'm gonna figure it out though. At some point, I'm gonna watch Game of Thrones. So we might have a recap of Game of Thrones 2022 on the podcast. We're gonna have a sweet recap. But I know we got a lot of listeners who are faithful Game of Thrones watchers, and I'm soon to catch up. Now, one thing I do need somebody to tell me. Somebody said, "Yo, see, you don't even got to do that. You can go to YouTube and watch like a 1 hour catch up, and it bring you right up to speed." And I'm like, that can't be true. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try that.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel left out
Is that
when everybody.
possible?
I mean, everywhere you go, the grocery store, they talking about Game of Thrones. I'm like, this got to be the best show ever written. So let me see. I don't really want to do Ask ET today because my kids are up and Carl has to go and I have to go. So let's jump into
Carl
some
gotta go,
church announcements before the nugget of the day. We got, you just heard we have the 2 conferences coming up. Also, Phenomenal Life Mexico. We're going to the Riviera Maya, all right? And it's going to be a blast. Listen, man, these trips are phenomenal. You talk about family, friends, hanging out, you know, a nice balance, a personal development, partying, whatever you want to call it, man. We just had a phenomenal time in Jamaica, had a phenomenal time on the cruise before that, and this time we're going to Mexico. Now listen, man, you have to get your tickets early, in advance. It's sold out for Jamaica, and then as soon as it sells out, everybody goes, oh, I want to come. No, listen, man, just put the deposit down now. All right, go put the deposit down so you can be a part of it. We're going next year. Carl, do you have the dates?
That's April. Give me a couple. I'll find it. But it's April. It's a little later than we usually do it. So you got an extra week or 2 to get them savings.
By the time you hear this, you should have close to a full year. All right, so we want you to join us there, man. It is always a great time, man, and we had a blast. Think about last, you know, at the last one, man, Jamaica, we had the game nights, the white party, just had a blast. Talent shows, just great fun. So whether you want to come, you know, with your partner, with your family, whatever, man, Phenomenal Life Mexico is going down. Carl, website is on the events page. Help me out.
Just go to etinspires.com.
Yeah, it's
and click
early
the
for
events
Carl,
page.
y'all too. Get on Carl. It's early. It's Carl. Carl's still
I'm here
waking
trying
up.
to look it up real quick. I was like, crap, that didn't work. Let me try something
You know what I'm
else.
saying? Phenomenal Life Mexico. You'll see it on there. Go to etinspires.com. Sorry, Tay. Tay gonna kill you, Carl. That's on Carl.
There we go. I got you. No, Phenomenal Life 2020, y'all. It's phenomenallife2020.com.
Phenomenal Life 2020, man. It's gonna be a blast again. So, like I said, you got a whole year this time. So no excuses, man. We look forward to seeing you there. Other than that, ETA Game Changers, all my speakers out there. Shout out to all my speakers who came out, man. We had a ton of them come out in Chicago. ETA Game Changers. If you want to speak, turn your passion into a profit, and learn from us. We had a phenomenal call last night. He was waxing deep on that joint, teaching our speakers how to go to that next level, connect with their audience, and get paid for doing so. I think that's about it for me. Oh, no, it's not. Man, happy birthday to my wife. She don't listen to this podcast, but I figure it makes me look like a better husband if I just, you know what I'm saying, announce it to the world. You know, people who like tell their mom happy birthday on Instagram and their mom not on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like, what exactly are you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Anyway, I love you. If you ever do hear this, happy birthday. And I look forward to spending some quality, one-on-one, locked-in time with you for your birthday, dear. So happy birthday to my wife, E. Give us a nugget of the day so we can get out of here and spend time with our wives.
Hey, for real, guys, you'll be grateful 5 or 6 years from now if you start today. Like, whatever you do, don't go, it's over for me. You know, look at my life. I have nothing going for me. You know, I'm in a place where I thought I'd never be. You know, everybody else is doing better than me. You know, you know, all the stuff you can say. Listen to me. If you plant a tree today, you may not see the results of it for 5 to 10 years. But at some point where it was once barren, those trees are going to blossom and bloom and be beautiful. So do me a huge favor. Do not allow the desert of your current life situation to stop you from planting. Stop whining, stop mourning, stop complaining, you know, stop comparing and start planting. All right? Do me a favor. Make the rest of your life the best of your life.
Hey, appreciate that nugget of the day. Appreciate y'all for listening. We love you. We'll see you next week.
I want you to focus on here right now. Don't you worry about when you get home. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity